be late. And there's Dee. Dee, hi Dee. All the peeps. Good to see you all. I feel teary seeing you. Yeah. Ruth, we just put our uh, Cody down yesterday, so that's why, and everyone else here knows that. So uh, that's anyway, seeing you brings that forward,
Quite,
but let me focus.
quite a journey. Oh,
It's tough.
mhm.
But meanwhile, here we are. And so, oh, there's Elena. Hi, Elena. Good to see
Hi.
you. Good to see you. And we're going to talk about supporting our conscious activism today because we're getting there. How's everybody doing? There's Channel. Oh boy, life is happening, isn't it? Life and death all around us, all within us. So, as people are coming in, there's Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you. Oh, wow, Carrie, really good to see you. This is our class number 6, and we've got two more because next time is the one right before the election, and then the next time is the one right after the election. What? Anybody want to do a little freak out? Freak out is one of my very favorite shift moves. Freak out! Oh my God, freak out! And it's even better if you run around the room, but I'm not going to do that. Because then I will trip over the lamp that I just carefully placed next to me. So, yeah, freaking out.
Makes me think of the Home Alone boy.
Oh
He does
no!
it
Anybody
well.
want to do that? Oh no! Oh! Um, I'm having the software thing happening. Um, these are my Rachel Maddow glasses. They're very intense. What do you think? That Kathy gave them to me. Well, all right. So we've been doing different steps. And so today I thought we could practice kind of use the steps that we've been playing around with in these last 5 classes. And so that we are getting to the next one, but and then the final 2 next week. Actually, I think we're going to do 2 today, 2 out of the 10 steps. So yeah, it's a lot of steps. You don't have to do them all. And when I and March, when we were writing the book, is like, yeah, 10 is good. Like 10 is a nice amount, even though it's weight, 7, generally speaking, is how many items that we can remember at any given point. So I know that. So I'm not imagining that you'll be like, okay, step 1, step 2. But however, what I am imagining is that you'll have the book around and you'll be like, okay, I know this was supposed to do something. I can't remember what because I really feel bad. And I just watched Rachel Maddow. Right? We tried to do that the other night. I think I lasted 5 minutes. Ah, adrenaline. Anyway, so just picking up the book. So to imagine that, if you don't have the book itself, well, let me know because I'll send them to you. Um, uh, although I haven't sent any yet to Australia or New Zealand. I would do that though. Just let me know. I've sent a lot other everywhere, lots of other places. So picking up the book, looking at the PDF, doing something that says, wait, there was something else. I can't really remember. To me, being an old Midwestern outside Chicago person, it could be a long time before we'd see the sun, right? And to me, this is a similar kind of have faith. Even if you're in total reactive brain and you forget that there is a creative brain, even if it's so cloudy and you forget that there's a sun back there, the sun is there. The sun is there. Creative brain is always there. And I think us coming together for this hour is really a time to remember and remind each other that that's true. Because if you pay attention to popular media, I wouldn't think that it's true. I mean, in my mind, like, wait, there is no, it's either, we're all gonna die. If we don't do this, we're all gonna die, like some terrible thing. Now, I don't know what will happen. We all are all gonna die, apparently. Anyway, but right, so it can look like from popular media, which is just to remind you, is based on selling advertising, which in many ways is based on us staying in reactive brain. So to kind of keep that going, the business model here is we buy more, we're more entranced, we're more fixed to this whole thing if we are in reactive brain. It keeps us there. Now, I'm not talking some conspiracy, I'm talking about kind of humanity and how we've built our economies, et cetera. So I'm not trying, it's not a blame as much as a reminder. Oh, kind of wake up as much as the whole the Malone. Oh no, it could also be like wake up, wake out of the trance of reactive brain. Reactive brain is very interested, I think, in keeping us in that place. Well, I don't know if yours is, but mine is. When I go into that reactivity, my survival self says, good idea, stay there. Good idea, stay there because you know something could happen. Always something could happen. It's true. And we know that. And our reactive threat brain is like, yeah, so stay on alert at all times, which to remind us is a very inefficient and hard way to live. Oh, so taking a breath, letting your body come back into its natural state of joy and appreciation and relaxation and peace, and knowing that other stuff is there for a reason, but it's supposed to be temporary. And I don't mean like 12 hours a day. Something, I mean temporary, a few moments at a time. Imagine a animal in the wild who goes into reactivity, does not stay in reactivity, does not, right? Gets through the experience, whatever it is, even if they're being dragged around or right, even if they get to the other side of that and then they shift their physiology out of that reactivity. So humans, we are not so good at that part because our minds get a hold of things and they say, no, we should stay like, oh, no, and there's more and more, and the adrenaline gets going, and we go through it, one adrenaline cycle, and then we kind of feel like, where's the next thing? So, right, then the dopamine hits, the adrenaline hits, etc. So, again, as a reminder here, now step one was notice the signs. And so let's play around in this first half an hour with these first steps. Anybody noticing any signs of reactivity? And if so, will you tell us about them?
I have a almost comical example.
Tell us.
Um, During the last session, I was able to be in live. I got a text from my neighbor asking if I had seen the flags on our shared neighbor. And they, during our meeting, were putting out a full size Trump flag off their back porch and a pink one that said Women for Trump. And so I was definitely seeing those signs when I drove and feeling them when I drove home.
So seeing them like clear, oh, there are
Oh,
signs, there are things flagging, flapping, and then Ruth, what did you notice in your body? What were the signals to yourself of your own reactivity?
I I have high blood pressure and I feel it there. And I was sad because Billy, the guy who lives there, is such a nice guy. And we've snow shoveled together and done stuff with his kids. And never in my wildest dream, he's a veteran. I just never knew that's the way they were voting in that household. It made me sad.
So you had some sad feelings, and you could also notice your high blood pressure. What when you notice the indicators of high blood pressure, what are you tuning into?
Sometimes I can feel the intensity of my pulse. Oftentimes it's a chest tightness, or I can tell that my face is getting real flushed.
Great, great. Pulse, flush face, chest tightness. Yeah. Anybody else? Signs. Notice the signs of your own reactive brain. Hmm. I have one tell, which is I did something in my thumb a long time ago, and so when I start pushing this place right here, that's my tell. All right. Yep, interactive brain. Now maybe you're all just really calm and cooled out. Hey, Esme, good to see you. So we're just checking in any other signs of reactive brain, any physiological indicators. Mm, Marge, I'm going to call in you because I'm
Yeah.
guessing you
Oh,
might have
oops.
one or two.
Well, wait, hang on.
Oh, we lost her.
No, I was my thumb. Um, I think I'm always in reactive brain.
Oh, oh,
I mean, I say that because I've just been in despair, like low grade. I'm just gonna use the word depression, though don't worry about me, but I mean it's become the climate of my emotional climate.
yeah.
And I don't I mean, when I have moments of creative brain, they are full out in their moment, but I don't, well, I get it. You don't sustain it, but you know, I mean, I haven't laughed like a belly laugh. I mean, like that pure ebullience, like that is so gone. It is so gone in my experience. Um,
Welcome to our call. This is
and
I'm doing this right here.
yeah, and it occurs to me. I mean, I don't, I always feel stuff kind of like you're intellectualizing. No, yeah, that's what I do. Okay. I have words for
Oh,
this. Um, but I am really in an argument with reality. So anyway, I mean, I know what work I have to do, and I get that it's a daily, like 24/7 practice. I think I'm in argument about that reality too. Like, really? I just would like to be in a state that my circumstances could keep bolster. I keep going to, oh, it's the circumstances. If I live somewhere else or if I had a partner. I mean, I think there's some truth to that in terms of support. But I just see how much I'm in an argument with reality. Anyway, that's all I'll say, Julie. I'm just in a state of depression.
and
Don't you don't have to worry about me. I just
oh, I'm
mean
not.
like very low
I have
energy.
feelings.
Yeah.
Low energy. So some of your indicators, low energy. What are some other
Not
physiological
low
indicators?
energy like I can't go run right now. I mean low heart
Low
energy.
heart, like
Low optimism.
it's kind of, and you can feel it here in your heart. Kind of
Yeah,
just
it's I'm very heavy here.
heavy heart,
Yeah.
big heart,
Yeah, I'm heavy here too.
just heavy, heavy,
Yeah.
heavy, heavy. A lot of heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, my bitching resting face has become it's permanent, you know.
Maybe so. Yeah. Whew. Right. So to start to see it, like the indicators, okay, let's just try indicators of creative brain would be I feel relaxed, I feel in flow, I feel connected and aligned. But those reactive brain ones, right? Adrenalized, low, heavy, bleh. If you're not feeling good, you're in reactive brain. Now, there's that part of feeling righteous. I feel fine because I'm right. Well, that's still reactive brain. Just, darn
Oh
it!
no.
Darn it! Shoot. Yep, pride. So as we're doing this for each one of you, this is why, well, I'm hoping what I can support you to do today is to let your body be your body, whatever it is, heavy, heavy, blood pressure. It could be like la la la, floaty, floaty, all the things, but to notice what's happening, notice the signs. And then the second step is decide if you want to shift. Now, that seems like to me, when I'm saying that right now, it's kind of like, well, what am I doing here then? If I, right? Except like speaking directly to you, Marge, like you deciding to shift, I think is a real uh indicator of faith in some way. Like, what? But I'm going to hang on to this because there's so much of this reality that I can see that people are talking about. There's a lot of story to say bad idea to shift. So deciding to shift is sort of strange, and to acknowledge that. Now you can always go back. Reactive brain will be there all the time for you. Yay, thank you. So if you keep going and we get up to step 8 and you're like, yeah, I'd rather be way where I was at the beginning. Okay, that's cool. Just go. You can induce that as easily, maybe easier than the rest of these steps. So decide to shift. Now you can decide if you want to shift. If you are like, hell no, I don't want to. I'm going to send on this call and I don't want to shift. Okay, that's fine. But if you decide you do want to shift, like, all right, I actually I'm willing. Okay, all right, I'm willing. My reactor brain is like, I'm willing as long as I can go back if I have to. Okay, I'll make that deal.
Jules, can I ask a question?
Sure,
I don't
yes.
want to derail where you're going. One of the most empowering things I've heard is, our being in a moment is given by the future we're living into. And you said faith. I think that's the stumbling point for me, which is I don't have faith in the future. And I said this in the call when you weren't here, like the enemy is the brain. And it's like, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I just mean I'm seeking a reframe that you keep offering, which is don't you just want to feel good? I go, I don't know if that's enough for this body, for this, whatever this is wanting to do. So I'm just putting that in the room, but I think that's the point. It's faith.
Um, and and some belief, so faith with a little bit of belief maybe thrown in there, that in fact living in those higher vibrations, and that's kind of the bottom line of all of this, living in those higher vibrations is actually the step for humanity. I mean, talk about like it's and we've got joy and we've got fear, like in right in front of us. It's like, wow, can we have even a more clear uh sort of contrast? Joy, let's turn the page. Joy. Well, it's terrible, it's terrible, right? And so both, it's like we have the outpicturing of our own selves out here. Like, wow, good job, us. So, yeah, we can clearly go back to fear, clearly stay in that place of everybody's my enemy. We've been doing it a long time, at least in my cultures. So we can clearly do that. Marge, you can go do that anytime. And there's something maybe drawing you to this other possibility that is speaking to you, maybe. And so to kind of lean into that as well, saying, okay, this is sort of the fool's errand to say, I'm going to give up fear for this other possibility. But that's really what we're talking about. That is this shift of consciousness that we're stepping into, y'all. God loves a fool. I always feel heartened by that. To be foolish, to step in, to be beginner's mind, to say, I don't know anything. And right here it is. And like to lean into our wise elders, so many of whom are speaking, saying, yeah, that one, fear, we know where that takes us, but this one, we've got the ability. So then the next step is choosing, find the real issue using SEW. The real issue. Now, if I know it's like, what are we talking about? You can go back and watch the videos. They're good, especially SEW, Esme. Thank you. That was a good one. The third one. So SEW, so let's just briefly, maybe to find briefly, only because I have some idea it's a good idea to get through the rest of it. Who knows if that's true? Is there anybody that could do an SEW about politics right now? Meaning noticing the signals, right? Your sensations and what the emotions are, and then what is the real issue for you? So anybody willing? Hey Dee, how about you? Did you hope you could just sit here and you wouldn't have to, I wouldn't call on you?
I want to say, hey, Marge, it's been a long time. Yeah, I think I was wrestling with I just got back from a meeting last night, and so it is politics, but it's not necessarily it's woven where we had a meeting that had 80 people on Zoom, and we had a person come on who was a bully who violated all the community agreements, unmuted, yelled, accusational, spewed everything.
Jeez.
And I watched the group on Zoom kind of zoomed out, paid attention to what was happening with me, but watched everybody else. And they went into what we're seeing as a culture is they went into this mesmerized, almost hypnotized piece because this person was declaring they were a victim while they were doing all this.
That's quite,
And it was this,
a 1-2 thing. Oh,
it
it's
was
terrible. Now let me kill you. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, and it really was. I know you're recording this, but it was kind of a brain fuck. I mean, it was like, what is going on here, folks? And their brain shut down, and I thought, oh, they're afraid. They really got caught in this. And so fast forward, we had another meeting last night. It was in person, and we spent so much time preparing, making sure boundaries were in place. We actually ended up, because the person escalated so much, we had not armed, but we had a security guard there if
Oh,
they needed to be escorted out of the room because
oh,
they had sent so many threatening emails.
wow.
And at some point, all of us, I mean, and so I think about fear getting caught here and just running into, gotta fix it, gotta make sure everything's safe, gotta make sure and doing that. But the shift happened, I think, when it was like, okay, we've got the conversation all taken, what's kind of the how we're directing the meeting, the agreements of the meeting, they've been communicated to everybody. We've done due diligence in making sure it's going to be safe. And it was only then that I could look at the fear and say, what is it I want? Because I could see the signals. I knew that was in place, but it was what I want. And I really wanted an environment where people
Oh, something. And we lost her.
felt violated from the time before.
I think you broke off. And so it sounded like you were saying where people would feel safe. Is that right?
Yeah, that we had created a safe container.
Great. And do you know how you were feeling in your body, what your sensations were?
Yeah, when I had that shift, all of a sudden my breath went deep and very wide,
Uh,
um, spread out more. So it wasn't all up here, almost panting. It really was. I noticed a weight lift off my shoulders because I'm kind of the person in charge of all this, and so I was feeling the do something. Yeah.
Do something. So some fear signals.
Huh. And because it reminds me so much of what's happening in our political climate. There was a piece in that I noticed. Person came, but I noticed I when they were in the room and space, I didn't feel fear. I actually felt I could see them. I felt my eyes softened. So it was almost, I guess, a feeling of, as I created safety for myself, for others, for this space, I could actually be with that other person, even in all the mishigas.
Such a key point. Like the point of this whole thing. It looks like it's out there. And then we're going to the trance, the fear trance of, oh my God, what's going to happen? Am I going to die as this person? This is so unpredictable. I did not expect this. Ah, and it looks like it's out there. And that if we could just control that, and then it sounds like you tried to, and then if we can come back here, this is
Mhm.
the point.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of take a moment and come back here because it's out there is very intriguing. There's a lot going on. But if I can come back in here and find out, oh yeah, sensations, high blood pressure, like, scared feelings, sad feelings, oh, low heart. It's in here. And then I can shift in here. And then what Dee was saying, then the weight lifts, my vision clears, then I'm available. But if I'm in that reactivity, I am not available. I'm just reacting. I am not available. I cannot connect to me. I'm just in a reactive instinct. Coming back to me. What do I really want? Oh, I'm the source of safety. That's a huge concept. Yeah, so we're walking through these steps, and I'm going to show you if I can find the thing because I brought it up. Yes.
Jules, I want to say something real fast that Dee
Yes.
just provided for me personally,
Really
which
fast.
is really fast. I look, this is so important. I made up a long time ago that I can't get what I want. And so I stay stuck in S&E. And the only time I get what I want is when I do it all by myself, which is why I'm so fucking lonely. Dee, thank you for that, because I have stopped thinking that I can dream what I want that has anything to do with other people, but I can still be in that energy and dream what I want. We're watching Kamala be like that. So that was enormous, and I will now mute. Thank you.
Yeah. Connect to me. If I connect to me, I'm available to connect to you. If I'm not connected to me because I cannot connect to you. It's this odd irony. It's like it's this hidden wait, but how come we're not connected? How come I don't? Well, because I can't if I'm not connected to me. But we can when we are connected. All right, I don't know why I can hear me, but I'm going to share this. Somebody mute you, and then somebody is echoing. I don't know who. Maybe I'll just get used to it.
Ruth, Julie's coming through your iPhone in your car.
Oh,
Good job, March. Okay, so look. It's the contents of what? Oh, of the book. So there, oh, isn't it pretty? Okay, so we're going to go back to the contents and look at our steps. Accept and love what is. And so now I'm gonna go strong on these next 3 steps. Accept and love what is. What? That's why we're practicing, you all. This is why this class was more than 1 week. What do you mean accept and love what is? That's crazy talk. Well, because there's something called reality. Now, I don't know what reality is. I mean, do you? Right. Well, it's shifting, changing all the time. But I know when I'm resisting reality, I don't want this to be happening. Oh, how many times? Like, oh, yeah, right? Accepting this is happening, accepting we are here. So letting yourself get in sync with reality, in synchrony, right? In here, this is happening. I'm here. I can accept this is the truth. I don't want to. I don't like this. Okay, breathing and moving. We can go back a step. Okay.
Freeze frame.
Did I freeze? Yeah, it's unstable. Isn't that a funny thing? You're right, I am unstable. Okay, so going back, accepting. Yeah, this is what is, all of the things. Now, it's all in my mind, right? Because whatever is out there is just my projection. Well, I don't want that thing and that thing and the guy that said that. And then, like, letting myself get in face to face, this is happening. And I can accept that this is what's happening. And then let's raise you one to love what? Loving that it's happening. Why would I do that? Going back to faith. Well, the real reason is because, the real reason, you see. One reason one really good reason would be because you'll have a lot more fun and you'll stop seeing people as enemies. Doesn't it look like we've got lots of enemies? We've been driving through Southern Colorado, and so we can, big Trump. Oh, but there's a big hair, like, oh, friend foe, right? No, they're all friends. They're all friends. They're all on Team Human. Like to actually remember that. Remember, oh, I can love what is just because, for no good reason, y'all. Okay? Bottom line, there's no good reason, except maybe this is a pretty good reason that you'll be happier. I like that reason for myself. My heart feels better. Mhm. My body feels better. I'm not in an adrenalized response. So trying that in your body as I'm kind of talking you through it. Can I accept this? This is happening. Here we are. This is happening. Wow, is this still happening? And can I love that? And I just mean, right? No reason. So that means think of something or someone I love easily. Open my heart. Oops, so we're getting to the open my heart part in a second. And then just kind of infusing reality with that, imagining that every breath we take could be love. Every breath. Imagine every breath you take in is love. Then the last two, which I recorded, and maybe you saw or maybe you didn't. So first we're going to open our focus. And Marge, you especially for this. Because narrow focus says what's wrong, what's wrong. So let's do what's wrong. There's a lot of things wrong right now, and we know, and this, that thing, we read the thing, and then the guy that was on the call, or maybe it was a woman. And, okay, what's wrong? Okay, got that? I feel throw up. Okay, so now that we're in narrow focus and in a high beta response, so now we're going to open our focus. So a way to do that is to look at your computer and just start without moving your eyes or your head. There's a lamp, there's a drink. Oh, there's a wall. Oh, what a relief. There's some window over there. And you can do it this way too, to open your focus. This is one of those things that this is why I teach, because I forget this one. And when I remember it, it's like my whole body is like, thank you. It's like I just gave it a big drink of the best nourishing elixir. Open your focus. Open your focus. Now, I'm going to keep going unless did somebody not like, I don't know what you just did. Anybody want me to do that again? It's Lester Femi's work, and so you can read about it. Open Focus Brain. He says we are shifting our brain waves to an alpha state just by doing that. I love that so much. High beta is stress. It's hard on you. Thank you for being stressed out all the time as a fellow human. I don't know. Is it a public service? Like Marge, like are you doing a public service for us by being in real? Like I don't know. Like maybe it kind of seems like that. Like if you're doing if you're not paying if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. That kind of idea. If you're not upset, you're not. Oh, but then your whole body is in a stress response. Let's do it again. Because why not? And while we're here, how about opening your heart? What does that even mean? I don't know. Try breathing into it. That place that felt heavy. If I sit up more and I'm breathing into my heart and I'm willing to open it, that seems dumb in a world that might be scary. No, I should keep it closed. Who knows who might hurt me? Or I can open it. Thank you, Michael Singer. How to not have a closed, how to have an open heart. Don't close it. So what if you walked through these next 2 weeks? Imagine that, y'all. Imagine that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in open focus and my heart is open. Yes, I know. Tell me more about how you're feeling because I'm holding this space. I'm unstable again. I just noticed. Okay, so now we're going to keep going because now we're to the next steps. Look what we have coming up. Shift to wonder and play. I'm enjoying the font here. Tell a new story. What? Commit to Team Human and choose your next creative action. No, those will be next for next week. So do not commit to or choose your creative. Okay, you could if you want. But shift to wonder and play. So I want to talk about that now. But first, I want to find out how are y'all doing? Anybody want to talk to us about how this is going for you? Okay. Then, before we shift to wonder and play, could we be right? Being right is the opposite of wonder. So let's just all be right. Let's just be really righteous. And we know what's true. And what's true is not what they think, it's what we think. And it's not them, because if they understood it, they would know that it's us and we know. And we're right. Okay. Because really enjoy that. How right am I? I am so right. I'm right. Anybody like that feeling? Really like that feeling. What is it about that? It feels so good. I'm right. Well, I think we've just chopped out a little tiny piece of reality that we have decided we've controlled. Like, thank God. No, really, it was. We should have turned left. We would have saved like 3 minutes. I am right. Okay. That's the feeling that we're going away from, y'all. Oh no. You want to do some more of this? Because wonder says, I don't know. But I do know. It's supposed to be like this. And that would be better if we did it that way. And humans, they. Okay, try this. Like, I don't know. It turns out you don't actually have to know. I thought I had to know. Anybody else think you're supposed to know? Like if somebody pulls me, says, hey, can you give me directions to get over to the other side of Boulder, which I've lived in for 40 years? Like that I should actually know. A, I should know the route, and B, I should know the fastest route. Like just because somebody just asked, like, why should I know that? I don't know. I don't know. So how about trying that out? I don't know. I don't know. So because of I should know, like, but I don't know. Because actually it's more true because I don't know. What if you didn't have to know? What if you didn't have to know what the best outcome of all of this is? How are you supposed to know? I look back in the last 8 years and I think like all the things I've learned and when Trump was president, I learned a whole bunch of things I would not have learned. So how should I know what's the best outcome? That's not what my job is in this lifetime. What if you didn't have to know? And that means you get to wonder, like, I wonder. So how about trying that? Gay and Katie Hendricks talk about the humming, and science has really caught up with them because people talk a lot about the vagal nerve, vagal response, and how humming takes us right into that vagal response. I wonder. So how about if you can, if you're not driving and you are at your computer and you want to, how about putting in some wonder thoughts? Like, I wonder, I'm gonna like, if you want to say them out loud, cool. Or you can put them in the chat. I wonder how this is gonna work out. I wonder who's gonna show up. I wonder, anybody else? Do you have any wonders about this election cycle? Hmm. Now, Channel and Jen, you are welcome to join in because even if you don't have your own up close election at the moment, right, whatever, like we're impacting you. So what do you want to wonder about? Anything?
I wonder about because I followed it fairly closely, like but very filtered. Um, I wonder about all of the people that have experienced a real coming together in a very joyous way, and how moving forward, irrespective of the result, that moment that they've had in this lead up to the election, where they got to see this is how, when we pull together, irrespective, this is
Beautiful.
how it can be.
Beautiful.
Mm. Because I've seen a lot of joy in coming together in certain areas. Yeah.
Hmm. I wonder what might happen if Trump isn't part of our politics. I wonder how people are going to get beyond our sort of addiction to adrenaline.
Mhm. I wonder when the fear pops and we recognize we're in reactivity, and then that self-righteousness or the I'm this side's right. I wonder how much of that is attached to the issue or attached to this is my indirect way of feeling I have a place I belong. So it's actually a core piece. And I wonder how we can create that without having to create the either or.
Okay, Carrie, I'm going to read yours. I wonder how all of this will impact our ability individually and collectively to look to and or imagine a different future. Right. No. Thank you for that idea because let's imagine that yay, all the things each one of us is like, oh, my person won or all my people won. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, is that really like is that what will then take us further versus, or I guess this is another wonder question. I wonder what will really support us into the next phase of humanity. Like, I wonder what if we could imagine that whatever happens will be the wave underneath
Mm.
our collective.
Following that, Julie, I wonder how as a species we can spend more time in love than fear and more time in we than us and them, you know?
So, I wonder. So shift into wonder, and then there's this play idea. Now, play, what? Anybody feel like playing? Now, maybe you might. I don't know, Marge, how are we doing? Are you shifting at all? Because is play available for you yet?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
what?
I'm I'm wondering. I am so excited to see what humans create. It's piggybacking on what Channel said about and D identifying that the issue is belonging and what are and people tuning into that because we saw it starting with the pandemic. So it's all the same. What are people going to cause to what is going to get created for us to come together and belong digitally and globally and locally? And so yeah, I'm trying to think now what I could create, so that's the play I'm in right now.
So now shifting to wonder and play. Play being so play could be woohoo, what get out the jacks or I mean we used to play jacks. When was the last time anybody played jacks? Anybody? I have no idea. Can you even buy jacks anymore? Probably.
That's great.
But the idea here is play is responding to what is. That's all a play here is. Not reacting, because that's there's nothing playful about just ah. But play is being available to respond. Here I am. I'm bringing me into the game. Here's the game happening. There's life happening. Here I'm in a body. I get to play. So life is sending this out, and then I get to say, how do I want to be with this? What am I going to send back over to life? So imagining that everything that this whole context is giving us, because it sure is a rich context, there's all kinds of invitations for us to play, to say, how do I want to be in response to this? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, here's the opportunity. Who do I want to be right now? I can be all of the things. I can be the infinite. I could just be the person who sits with a shotgun. I could be the person who doesn't emerge from my basement for the next 2 years. I could be all the things. And so who do I want to be? What a fascinating and fun question, because that's what creativity looks like, is I'm going to create this response instead of I'm just going to react like some automatic. It does this, you hit my knee in the right place and my leg goes up. that's that's just reaction. Creation. How do I want to be when I'm playing with you all? Now, Eliana and Esme, I just want to say, and Ruth too, but you're in the car. I'm calling on everyone else only because I don't know you well enough to put you on the spot. So if you want to say something, please do. But that's why. Oh, I got unstable again. Okay, now I'm not unstable. Don't you feel better? I don't. It's more fun. Okay, to be unstable. Okay, wait. So coming into this one, tell a new story. Tell a new story. Katie Hendricks, I just saw her. She just announced next year she's doing an entire year about cultivating a new story for humanity. It's a whole program, y'all. Go join that. I think that's pretty close to the title, Cultivating a New Story for Humanity. So this is not a year. Well, it could be. But right now I'm just entranced really by stories. Well, my own. And so are you. So I want to talk for a couple of minutes about the power of a story. Okay, the power of a story. Now, several of you, as I'm looking at you, are storytellers. So anybody want to tell, when you're going to tell a story, like Marge, I know you're trying to mute yourself, but I know you're a poet. I'm not sure everybody else, but please, if you this speaks to you, when you're telling a story, what are you thinking about? What are you trying to evoke? How do you think about telling a story? So, Marge, I don't know if you have an answer to that.
Oh, I do, but I don't know if it's gonna if it's gonna serve the conversation.
Well, when
I'm
what
thinking of the pleasures of language, my medium. And I know that if I get it right, I'll get the story right.
so will you give us an example?
Um, um, I'm just gonna say it is so pleasurable to work with language as medium and not content, even though I know it's content, but I'm trying to get language right. And it is super pleasurable via the music of it. I don't know how else to say it, Julie.
You have a word that comes to your mind, or like, okay, for example, that when I say the word,
Oh, um, well, moonshine just came to mind.
mm,
So
beautiful.
yeah. I'm sorry that I didn't know how to feed into that, Jules,
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
there was life for both
Yeah.
of us happening back and forth. Right. So moonshine. Right. Like something so clear as like it's just a word. How about if I say the word death? There's a word. Ah! Right. I'm having feelings. How about if I say the word sun? I guess that went with moon, right? So, right, these words matter is my point. And so the story that we tell is very powerful in my experience. And every single one of us here is great at telling stories. Mm-hmm. Some of them are not to your benefit. Some of them anchor you into reactive brain. So thank you for the link. Anybody have an example of a story that you, maybe a persona of yours or some part of you has told you in the past that's anchored you into reactive brain? I'm looking at Jen grinning. Do you have one for us, Jen?
It's about speaking in a situation exactly like this, and it's kind of like everyone is smarter than me, and anything I say is just going to sound dumb. That's my be quiet persona.
I just think what is that I just called on you for? That's the story right there. What is that? How'd that happen? Right. Now, is there anybody on this call that can't relate to that story? No. Okay, just saying. Kind of a universal one, but maybe, yeah, right. And so, but that particular story, if I say something, I'm going to sound dumb. These folks are so much smarter than me, et cetera, et cetera. To notice how that really anchors me into this certain state. And Jen, what state does that story anchor you into?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, and then you're in frozen right on my Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you go into a frozen state. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it almost feels like the brain switches off, so that the whole languaging that Marge was talking about, and it's that kind of seems to escape me.
Which is to add further irony to this whole conversation and I already think I'm not as smart as, and now my whole brain just shut off. And so, right. Ah, so to understand that, and on and on and on, all of these things, like what keeps me up at night, what's the thing in the background, what's the thing that I'm like, oh God. And so let's tell a couple stories about politics right now that are from Reactive Brain. Anybody have one? Yeah, Esme.
Um, I live in a red state in a rural place. So I'm surrounded by people and I find myself constantly angry and fearful and sad. Just people that I try to go back to that loving place, and I see the signs everywhere. And I just went and early voted the other day, and I know I was the only Democrat in that line. And I'm sorry if it's inappropriate to say
No,
any of
you
that.
say what I say.
But I find it so hard for myself to move into that loving, accepting place because I'm so angry at all these people that I see day to day at the post office, at the grocery store, all around. I'm finding like this wall where I can't push through into that love, that openness, that the anger and the fear is like choking me.
Thank you for speaking that. So the fear is choking and the anger, and so we're going to go to do a little SEW. What's for you, Esme, the bottom line fear? What's the perceived threat or danger here?
Well, for me, it's a little like a deja vu feeling of when Trump got elected last time and how terrible that was for me emotionally, personally, set me into a terrible space for years.
Years. It's called Terrible Place. So note to me if that happens, how will provide support. And so I'm scared I'm going to feel like that for years again.
Yeah, exactly. And
so
I'm scared for everything, how negatively impacted the whole world would be by that.
So just all of that, like, can we have a collective, okay, being scared? We get to feel as scared as we feel about that, because that could happen. Our bodies are smart. Our reactive brains are like, they're there for a reason. And so, Esme, you get to feel scared about that. It's just having it choke you, like, versus it could pass through you. I was like, yes, because that could happen. Those things could happen. Letting yourself breathe with that, be with those waves. And then mad, you're getting something you don't want. You're not getting something that you want. What are you getting specifically that you don't want? Or what are you not getting that you want?
Is that a
Yeah,
question
to
for
you
me?
still. To you still.
What am I getting that I don't want? Trump as the president is
want
something
that.
I don't want
Don't
at
want that.
all.
Just don't want that. Because what I'm not getting that I do want is
Democracy,
I want democracy.
reasonable people in charge.
Now, if we had more time, and maybe next time, Esme would come. I know we did this at a different time, but it was so great, and I appreciated you so. Anyway, I know we have to contain it today, but not next time, not the following time. Anyway, so I'm happy to walk through this with you more carefully, because where I would go would be, what does this remind you of in your past that you got something you didn't want? Or you didn't get what you did want, what does that mean to you? Trump being president versus reasonable people, like what is that really bringing home for you? But meanwhile, what I'd suggest is some sort of expression, like, well, I'm stopping myself from saying, well, I boxed. Do you have you ever boxed? I actually took that up short.
I practice kung fu.
Oh, are you doing that these days? Great. I don't really know. Does that give you a full out anger expression? I don't know anything about
Yeah. Lots of punching.
Lots of punching. Punch, punch, punch. Perfect. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But what I do want, so to let your body have all of that. Yeah. So, we've got 3 minutes.
Can I ask a real quick question,
Please,
though?
yes.
Part of what I wanted to ask the group and anybody is what I'm having a lot of trouble moving past is fear. And if anybody has any ideas of when you want to shift and you feel like you can't
Because you got the
you're
anger down,
stuck
the fear.
or frozen, with fear. That's because anger feels easier. Like, yeah, I can punch something or I could scream, but fear feels harder to move.
I'm going to direct you to Marge put in the link about Katie's stuff. Fear melters. Katie Hendricks does a whole bunch of stuff about fear melters. That is her focus, and so that you'll have so much information about fear melters. If you just look up fear melters, if you YouTube those, or if you go to hendricks.com, you'll find a lot of stuff about fear melters. I do. I'm unstable again. I do recommend a good freak out, running around, really letting yourself have a full out, and bring this into to home here. A new story. So I want to give you a couple of ideas about a new story. And Esme, this might help you because the fear stories, the anger stories, they're very compelling. That's what we're reading over and over in the media. We. That's what we're watching, the fear stories, the anger stories, because they got so much drama. Imagine being a journalist and you've got to think of one new thing to talk to write about. It's like, what? If we're I got to find somebody to talk to anyway. So here are a couple of new stories. I'm gonna take us up the line as we end the call in a minute. I'm going to start with neutral. A neutral story is here we are. Okay, it's not a very dramatic story. You can tell why journalists would not write that story. Like, it's kind of a short story. This is happening. It is what it is. An acceptance story would say, and I accept. I feel actually just went out of my body a little bit like, oh, and I accept that this is actually happening. This moment and that this moment is happening. An appreciation story would say, and I appreciate you all for being that I get to like thank God. Well, I don't know that it's happening because how else would I get to hang out with you? Like, right, that and I appreciate humanity for taking this on. I appreciate all the energy people put into trying to sort this out. Whoever, whatever they're thinking about, they're thinking. Not all people, I don't mean that, but think about imagine all the folks that are out there really with, very emotionally invested enough to put a sign up. Like, what does that even take to put a big sign up on a big wood barn or whatever? Like, that's not easy. And then I'm going to keep going to love. I want to send that out to you all. And Esme, I recommend that as a practice when you're standing in line with folks. You could just, I stand there. I appreciate people's boots and their hats and like, they're the color of their teal coat. Like, right. And I can send love to them because I know that they're human and walking through life is and are as challenged as I am by all of the things that happen along the way. And then I start to feel joy and I start to imagine, oh, that we get to do this together. Yay. And I got 8 billion playmates, plus all the other beings, right? And then even to imagine this final story. And I know we're a minute over, but here I'm going to tell you this story. This is like sending you off a little bedtime story for the rest of your whatever. Here's my story, you all. All is well. Nature has this, it always has. It's perfect. We're part of some huge, perfect uh, coming together, and we get to be somehow, who knows how we got the luck of the draw, but we got to participate in this. But that all is well. Thank you so much for being here. And next time we'll be at the last two steps. And then the final time, which is the day after the election, we're going to be like, oh, okay, we're having some feelings. Okay. Thanks so much for being here. Love to you all. And especially to Esme. Can we shower Esme with some love? What state are you in?
I'm in Tennessee.
In Tennessee. All right, wait. We need more.
It's
Uh,
a mess.
yes. Love, love, love to Tennessee and everywhere else that people are. Because we're in this together, Team Human. Go. All right, till we meet again. Bye-bye.